What's going on, guys? So in today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the most common misconceptions about relationships that I've ever heard. A lot of people, and I found that Christians in particular, seem to kind of put all of their value into a relationship, thinking that when they find the one that God sent to them, that they'll finally be able to find this sense of happiness. And let me tell you that this idea in your mind that when you do find the one that you're going to be complete might very well be the thing that's holding you back from actually finding the relationship that you desire. Until we realize just kind of the bigger picture here, until we realize that our happiness does not depend on our circumstances, we're going to be miserable in our life. There's always going to be something that's going to go wrong. There's always going to be someone that's going to try and poop on our party, and there are always going to be some sort of circumstances that are not like 100% the way that we would like them to be. Just look at Paul in Philippians and how he was literally in jail and wrote the happiest, most joyful book in the Bible in Philippians. Paul did not exactly have like a wonderful, happy time in prison. Paul was beaten routinely. Editing Sam here to say that Paul was also chained to a Roman soldier 24/7, so that also kind of adds to the annoyingness. Paul would not have had those opportunities. He would not have been able to produce the kind of fruit that he produced if it hadn't been for his attitude, even while he was in really, really difficult circumstances. So in the same way, could it be that we are blocking ourselves from finding a relationship, finding the person that we desire to be with, because we're not making the most of our circumstances? I like to say that there's only so much that's going to come from us realizing, for example, that we're out of money. Like, I can sit here and complain that I have no money for as long as I would like, but that's never going to change until I actually do something. And it's not whining to notice, hey, I'm single, but it is whining when we start just going on and on and on about it and not doing anything to further our walk with Christ and produce fruits that attract Christian people of the opposite sex. It really reminds me of Matthew 6:33 that says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be provided to you." Now, I know that in that verse that Jesus is actually talking about food and clothing, but I believe that that can be extended to anything that we feel like we need. And for many of us, that need is for a relationship, for a spouse one day. And so if we are truly seeking the Lord, if we are seeking to further our walk with Christ, if we are seeking to make disciples, to, encourage and spread the gospel, and just not only go out and be a missionary like in foreign countries, but just be an example of being happy even in difficult circumstances. When you're single, you aren't supposed to just mope around until you find the person that you're supposed to be with. Newsflash, that's not even attractive. In fact, you're probably scaring some people off if you are kind of going on some sort of, I'm single kind of rampage where you're just doing whatever you feel like. Like, that is not attractive to any sort of Christian guy or Christian girl out there to be going through a rebellious stage. Become the person that you would like to date, and chances are that that person is out there waiting for you to be that way as well. So many Christians, and particularly influencers out there, make Christian relationships seem like the thing that will solve all of your problems. The Instagram and Facebook and, Snapchat, I guess to a lesser degree, the culture that they put out there, that once you find that one person that God might be withholding from you right now, that all of your problems are going to go away. No amount of striving for worldly things, and that even means relationships, is going to bring you happiness, is going to make you whole. The only thing that is going to make you whole is pursuing that relationship with the Lord. So do not try to cram a spouse-shaped block into a God-shaped hole. It will bring you nothing but pain if you try to do that. It will bring you nothing but disappointment. That person was not meant to fulfill God's role. We need to make sure that we are prioritizing the correct things. Go out, and try to do what the Lord asks you to do. I made a video a week or two ago talking about how Jacob and a lot of the men of the Bible found their spouses going out and going on the journey that the Lord called them to go on. If Moses had never done what he did in Egypt, he never would have run right to his father-in-law's house. If Jacob had never gone on the journey that the Lord asked him to go on, he never would have met Rachel and Leah and never would have had all the kids that he ended up having. If we are truly looking for our other half, the person that we are supposed to walk with on this earth, the best thing for us to do is to prioritize God. And then, just like Matthew 6:33 says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be provided to you. A lot of people like to focus on the all these things will be provided to you part, but they tend to forget that there are very often stipulations in the Bible. And that doesn't mean that God is a God of transactions or of deals, but it does mean that we can't just expect all of God's promises without entering into his covenant, without being obedient. It's simple. We want a God of forgiveness, we want a God of mercy and of grace, but we forget that God gave us commands, and he has a way that he desires for us to live. And if we want all of those blessings, if we want a significant other, if we want a wife or a husband, we have to ask for God's will to be done first and not idolize that thing. So I kind of got a little bit off topic, but I'm a little bit fired up about the subject. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me, and it helps me to make more of these videos and get them out to more people. So I will see you guys next week. Thanks, guys.